Hello my loves, hello my besties, hi. We are doing my February TBR. I am going to be honest with you guys, I did not do well with my TBR in January. I did get through Iron Flame Onyx, Fourth Wing, Iron Flame and Onyx Storm, and I read, what else was in my... I read For the Fans, which I really liked. And I really think that's all that I read. I didn't get to a lot of my books. I've been dealing with some health issues and have just been really tired lately and just have been having a hard time, so I've been doing more stuff that's not involving me to be reading and stuff like that, like just watching stuff with my fiance or playing a game or something like that. I know this is a different setup than normal, and I keep spinning on accident because my chair kind of just swivels on its own. But I have my TBR cart here. I know you can't see much of it, like you can kind of see the first two rows. You can't see the bottom one, but I am going to be choosing from all of the rows. Okay, so we are going to be playing the roll and read dice game again that I made. I had some inspiration from other people. If you want to know those, I will try to put them in the description, and if I forget, they are in my past game of this. So we're just going to continue on with the one that we already started. So I'm going to roll 2 dice, and whatever it lands on, the first number is going to be this, and the second number is going to be this. Or no, the first number is going to be the top, the second number is going to be the side. And if, say, I roll a 1 and then a 4 and then a 1, that's already been done, and so is 1 and 4. So I'd have to just roll again. But if I say got, which one doesn't have? Say I got a 1 and a 2, this one's already done, but I can switch it and do 2, 1 to get the open slot. So that's just how we're going to do it for this one. I think I'm only going to pick 7 books this time. I've been picking a lot more lately, and I have been really not doing well keeping up with them. So we're going to do just 7 this time. Hopefully I'll get to read a bunch of them, and then if I have more, I might just throw in an extra video or something where I just choose a certain thing to read or certain things. But we're going to roll these, and then I'll show you. Well, here, let me roll 1. We got a 4 and a 2. So 4-2 is not done, and that is color generated cover. So let me whip out a random color generator. You know, I kind of feel like you guys are a little bit low. Let me put my Iron Flame copy underneath you. See if that helps at all. Did that work? Did this help? I think it might have. So it's starting out on cream, and we're gonna randomly generate daffodil yellow. Okay. Well, that's not great. I don't really have a ton of yellow. The clinic sounded really good, and that's kind of got yellow on the title, like the title of it's yellow. Well, here, let me just put all these up here for now so that they don't fall on me. So that's usually where my chosen TBR goes. I don't really have anything that's got the yellow in it. Unless Beach Read does, but Beach Read I think is more of like an orangey, maybe not. Oh, nope, that's daffodil yellow. We'll go with Beach Read. Beach Read will be our first book. Now let's roll again. We'll roll the first one. We got a 3 and a 3. 3 and 3. A book under 300 pages, which I do not have that marked off yet. So let's take a look at some of these. That's over 300. That's going to be over 300. How about this one? over 300. I honestly don't know if I'm gonna have any that are under 300. The only one I know of that's under 300, I think, is Haunting of Hill House, and I had a really, really hard time getting into this book, and I'm just at this point not really ready to try again. I've got The Coven. Is that under 300? We're gonna go with The Coven. The Coven is under 300 pages. It's at like just under 300. So we're gonna go with this by Harper L. Woods. It looks like it's gonna be good. Let me tell you, you guys know what Beach Read is about, I'm sure. But if you don't, it is about, so it's basically about two different authors. One of them writes literary fiction, one of them writes romance. And they end up on the same island for kind of inspiration to write their next books. And they're both stuck in like a, they're having writer's block. So they decide that they're going to switch genres and write each other's genre. So he's going to write a romance and she's going to write literary fiction. And then they basically take each other on dates or do activities to kind of get the person in the mindset for the books they usually write. So that's what this one is. And then The Coven. So it's about a girl who is, I think it's about a girl who, she's basically raised to be her father's weapon against the Coven. This Coven took away his sister and his birthright, and she will do anything she can to protect her brother from going through the same fate. And it's basically about her being in this university where they are able to go learn to practice their magic free from the judgment of humans. And the only kind of animosity she gets is from the headmaster, Alaric Grayson Thorne, and he despises her just as much as she loathes him and everything that he stands for. And no one talks about the bloody massacre that forced it to close decades prior, only the opportunity it can afford to those fortunate enough to attend. Because for the first time in 50 years, the Coven will open its wards to the 13 promising students destined to change the world. If the ghosts of Hallows Grove victims don't kill them first. And it's basically, I think it's about her and potentially her headmaster, maybe? I don't know. It says something about the last line on the back is even if we wanted to rip each other's clothes off. So I don't really know who the love interest is here or what this is really about, but it seems good. I have the next book in the series as well, so that'll be interesting. And I think it's literally the only other book that I have that's under 300 pages that isn't Haunting of Hill House, and I'm not ready to get back into that. So that's book 2. Let's roll. We got a 1 and a 6, which is my favorite trope. Well, my favorite trope is enemies to lovers. So I feel like Serpent and the Wings of Night is enemies to lovers, which I'm going to do Serpent and the Wings of Night. I will put up a picture here for you because it's actually over there. It was part of my January TBR and I didn't get to it, but I had it next to my bed to read and then I never got to it. So we are going to go with Serpent and the Wings of Night, which is over there by Carissa Broadbent. It's basically Hunger Games with vampires, and I think it's going to be really, really good. So that's going to be our choice 3. I will put a picture up of it in this area. But that's going to be my favorite trope because I just adore enemies to lovers and fantasy. So first number is a 3, second number is a 4. I can hold these without dropping them. So 3 and 4, favorite author. Ooh. Okay, so I know for a fact I have 2 of my favorite authors on here. I have Variation by Rebecca Yarros on here. I also have Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood on here that I could go with. But I also really like Riley Sager, and I have one of his here as well. You know, I put Crescent City on my last 2 TBRs, I believe. And I didn't pick it up. Or do I want to read Variation? I don't know much about Variation. Elite ballerina Ali Rousseau is no stranger to pressure. With her mother's eyes always watching, perfection was expected no matter the cost. But when an injury jeopardizes all she's sacrificed for, Ali returns to her summer home to heal and recover, but the memories she's tried to forget rush in and threaten to take her under. As a Coast Guard rescue swimmer, Hudson Ellis knows the hesitation can mean the difference between life and death. He's always prided himself on being in the right place at the right time, especially when it came to Ali Rousseau. Until the night he left for basic. After the biggest regret of his life, the secrets he keeps mean the secrets he keeps mean he can never be with the one woman he wants more than his next breath. When Hudson's niece shows up on Allie's doorstep, desperate to find her birth mother, Allie finds herself in an unimaginable position. Allie and Hudson's past and present might be endlessly complicated. The thread that tied them to each other all those years ago may have unraveled, but the truth could pull them back together or drive them apart forever. Do we go with one that's been on the TBR multiple times and I haven't gotten to, or do we go with a new one? We're going to go with Variation by Rebecca Yarros. I'm in my Rebecca Yarros stage at the moment because I just reread Fourth Wing, the Fourth Wing series, which I was going to do a reading vlog for that, and let me just tell you how royally I screwed that up. I recorded until about 3/4 of the way through Fourth Wing. And then I completely got sucked in and forgot to record anything all the way through the end of Onyx Storm. So, I'm gonna try to reread them again in the next few months, I think, and then do a reading vlog off of it, because the reading vlog wasn't going to be really a vlog anymore. It was going to be like the first part, like chunk was going to be a vlog, and then it was just going to be kind of let's talk with it was going to be a weird layout, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to try to reread them soon, because I do want to reread them anyway, to reread Onyx Storm. So I think I'm going to do a reading vlog for those then, and I'm going to try to actually do it this time, instead of getting sucked in and then not finishing it like I did this time. But if anybody hasn't read Fourth Wing, please do. It's an amazing series. I adore it. Rebecca Yarros knows how to rip your heart out and also make it sing all at the same time. But that was book 4, Variation by Rebecca Yarros. First number is a 6. Second number is a 1. A new release. I ordered my Book of the Month box for February earlier today. And one of them was an early release of a new book. It's called Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister. Early release. It's a thriller. After months of maternity leave, Camilla's life is about to change. She will drop her infant daughter off at daycare for the first time and return to her job as a literary agent, finally. But when she wakes, her husband, Luke, isn't there, and in his place is a cryptic note. Then it starts. Breaking news, there's a hostage situation developing in London. The police arrive and tell her Luke is involved, but he isn't a hostage. Her husband, doting father, eternal optimist, is the gunman. Whoa, hang on. What she does next is crucial, because only she knows what the note he left behind that morning says. So that sounds really good, and that is going to be an early release, and obviously that means it's a new release. So I think we're going to put this one on the TBR, just because I'll be getting it in February, and I really need to start actually reading one of my books of the month each month. So we're going to put Famous Last Words by Gillian McAllister as our new release. Now let's roll again. First number is a 3. 3, 4 I already have, so if I do 4, 3, we'll do a book that intimidates me. That's either going to be Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood, or When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. Both of these are giant. Both of them are huge. And that is what very, very much intimidates me about them both. So I think we're gonna go with one of these two. And I think I'm gonna go with When the Moon Hatched. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. I don't know a ton about this. And I kind of want to keep it that way, but I don't know too much about it, and I kind of want to go into it pretty blind. So we're going to choose this one, and if you want to know what it's about or anything, feel free to look it up. I don't want to go into it with any spoilers or anything. So this is the one we're going to pick next, and it's When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker as our book that intimidates me, because it's a chunky boy. Final book. We got 6 and 6. A mood read. We like mood reads. I feel like maybe I should add something else that's not... Well, really, I only have 2 fantasies. And a thriller and 2 romances. Romance, thriller, fantasy. I could do another fantasy. I either think I want to do one of my books of the month, I think. Because I have a lot of them. Maybe we could do The Road of Bones. This is a book 1 in a series. Or I have A Killing Cold, which I believe is also a thriller. Oh, this one was also under 300 pages. That's good to know. I'm going to save that one then in case I ever get under 300 pages. I think we're going to go with The Road of Bones, the Ashen series, as our last book. I also don't know much about this. I don't know anything about it actually, but I want to keep it that way as well just because I don't want to get anything spoiled. Those are the 7 books that we're going to do. I only have 6 of them in person, but let me pull these out in a stack where they're not going to tumble all over the place. It's a pretty nice color scheme aside from Beach Read. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, the other one's over there. Here's some of the ones that we're going with, and then Famous Last Words is the other one, is the thriller we're going to go with, and then Serpent and the Wings of the Night, which is on the other side of the room. But that is going to be our January TBR, our February TBR, good lord. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Thank you, and I will see you guys when I see you next.